full of goodbyes. My eyes are on the gray sky, saying I don't wanna come home tonight. Yeah, and I'm higher above. I don't even remember, but my friend passed out in the Uber ride. Oh, I'm from the city of the 915, where all the girls are pretty and they're down for the hype. All my boys are with me, going up for the night. But who cares? Who cares? 'Cause this is our year. So wake me up in the spring while I'm high off my American dream. Oh my, my, my. Oh my, my, my.
Tell me something, boy. I know that tears are rolling down your face, and it feels like yours was the only heart to break. Don't be afraid, the shadows know me. Let's leave the world behind. So pull me closer, why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. I know I go back to you. I wanna hold you when I'm not supposed to. Spend my youth to someone. Just keep breathing, 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 breathing.
'Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you.
Only you
Dreams in your nightstand.
make me wait until the morning.
I'll do it over again. I didn't want it to end. Now watch it blowing away. I should've listened to my friends. Did shit in the past, but I wanted to last. You were made out of plastic. Fake.
Yeah, we got it going on, got it going on.
Yeah, we got it going on, got it going on.
Just in case my fate
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Jackson Sayers, Senior Class President. On behalf of our senior class officers, Hazy, Kate Hartman, Riley Keeler, Natalie McChrystal, Sadie Peterson, Delaney Unter, and up here with me today, Kirsten Engelbart and Cooper Axe, we would like to welcome family, friends, and the class of 2021 to our commencement ceremony. It is our pleasure to introduce all of our guests sitting up front. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Guests, please stand as we read your name. Beginning with our Board of Education. Board President, Mr. Christoph Fev. Board Vice President, Mr. Rob Pedersen. Ms. Naomi Johnson. Ms. Kristen Draper. And Mr. D. Johnson.
Our interim superintendent, Dr. Todd Lambert. Assistant superintendents, Mr. Scott Nielsen and Dr. Tracy Guile. Our principal, Dr. Craig Woodall. Assistant principals, Mr. Tim Brule, Ms. Karen Bennett, Mr. Conrad Christ, and Ms. Tyler Nickel. Our diploma name readers, as selected by the senior class, are Mr. Adrian Flicht and Ms. Amy White. Our speaker, Mr. Chris O'Grady, and our torchbearer, Ryan Randall.
The following honor staff are also being recognized as a special part of our class and our success. Selected by administration and certified staff, Ms. Renee Perry. Selected by classified staff, Mr. Walter Chard. And selected by the senior class, Ms. Bree Rumley and Ms. Reina Robles. Last and certainly not least, the class sponsors for the class of 2021, Ms. Lindsay Madison, Ms. Kim Murray, Ms. Jamie Kiros, and Ms. Bree Rumley. Please give all these people a round of applause. Now please rise as we listen to our alma mater in a taped joint performance by the Rocky Mountain High School Music Department. Please welcome our principal, Dr. Craig Woodall.
Please be seated. Hello and welcome to the 48th graduation ceremony of Rocky Mountain High School. This is awesome, by the way. Spirit band going crazy beforehand, able to see smiling faces, beautiful weather. Thank you so much to district leadership and the health department for making sure all of this could happen. Class of 2021, you deserve this. So we are super excited to be here with you. You know, I've been brainstorming this moment for quite a while, and admittedly, I never pictured this. I never pictured a full house. I thought maybe virtual, remote, just us. I didn't know, so super excited. But what do you tell a class, the class of 2021, that has had the years you've had in high school? You've been remote, you've been hybrid, in-person, mask, QR codes, social distance, hand sanitizers, all terms I don't ever want to hear again, and I doubt you do either. So I will move on from those. But how do you inspire a group like you that has already demonstrated the ability to dig deep and overcome? You don't need that inspirational speech. You should be up here telling us these messages, giving us this speech of what it takes to succeed. Because I have heard your stories all year long of perseverance and how you've gotten through things. I hope you know it's always been an honor for me to speak in front of you, and I realized as I was planning this, other than the occasional intercom or recorded video, I have not spoken to your class collectively in person since the fall of 2019. That is pretty crazy and kind of summarizes the unique situation we are in. It's been odd, it's been awkward at times, but we are here. So, with that being said, I find it only fitting to talk to you about three somewhat odd things to kick off our graduation: coffee, eggs, and carrots. Admittedly, I don't really like coffee. Never have, and unless they're done just right in a breakfast burrito or an omelet, I'm not a big fan of eggs. And to be honest, sorry moms, but I could really do without carrots, especially cooked carrots. Alone? Yeah, thank you. Alone, those are three random, somewhat odd things to mention in a graduation speech, but they don't have much of a connection. But when you dig a little deeper and look at some thoughts from author and speaker John Gordon, these random items come together to be of great importance. Because when you take an egg and place it into boiling water, what happens to it? Eventually, it hardens. Becomes an appropriately named hard-boiled egg. What happens to a carrot when you place it in hot water? It loses its shape, changes its form, becomes soft. And what happens to a coffee bean when you put it into boiling water? Eventually, it becomes coffee, transforming the water around it into something completely different than how it began. Other than this fantastic science lesson, what is my point? Life will often feel like that boiling water. It sure has felt that way this year to me, and I'm sure it has to many of you at times. And people have reacted in very different ways. Some people have taken their circumstances, their challenges, and when it gets tough, they pulled away and put up that hard outer surface like the egg. They won't let people in. They tried to go it alone without much success or happiness, often blaming their environment, that boiling water, for how they feel. Some people, when faced with challenges, got soft, lost their form, similar to the carrot, and wilt to the pressure, compromised their beliefs, and slowly just began to give up and have little left to stand back up to their situation, often when that strength is needed most. And some people, like the coffee bean, placed into those same challenging circumstances, that same boiling water that impacted the carrot and the egg, chose to stay put, dig in, and transform their environment into something greater. They do this with perseverance, gratitude, and a healthy perspective on their situation. And in the end, they are the ones that can bring about positive change in the midst of challenges. It was the same water, the same circumstances, but different end results, because often it is our response to challenges in life that will define us. When I look out at the class of 2021, I see rows and rows of coffee beans. People that said, yes, this is a challenge. I would rather have it another way, but I will reach down the resilience I never before knew I had, and I will continue to transform my environment for the better in true Lobo Way fashion. This class of 2021 has shown more grit, more perseverance than any class we have ever put through the walls here at Rocky Mountain High School. As a school, we have transformed into a new normal led by you. As we proceed through life, we will have times when the water will boil again. To many, it's still boiling right now. At times next year, in a few years, or 50 years from now, you may find yourself in that boiling water again. Think back to this time. Think back to this day, this moment. Think back to how you chose to transform your environment rather than be hardened or become soft. Think back to how it feels to be sitting here today knowing all that you have accomplished. As Nelson Mandela said, everything is impossible until it is done. To say we would be here today, being in and out of school, getting through a pandemic, I would have said, no, it's impossible. That this class would have earned a record $17.5 million in scholarships, no, sorry, it's impossible. Too many other things going on. That we would still be able to support our community with Adopt a Family when we were remote. Nope, that would be impossible. Until the class of 2021 stepped in and did their part, transforming their environment and in return, all of us and our community into something better. Simply put, you have made the impossible possible. You should be able to retire the word impossible from your vocabulary going forward. Or as Muhammad Ali said, impossible is just a big word thrown around by small people who find it easier to live in the world they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. Class of 2021, you have shown this. You have overcome the impossible and accomplished so much against all odds, finishing strong in the midst of all this craziness. You have become that coffee bean, and we will be telling your story for years. Class of 2021, I'm excited for you because today is the day we transition you from where you are to where you are from. You are now a member of a very special club. You'll be an alum of Rocky Mountain High School, a Lobo for life. Use all that you have learned, take the Lobo way with you, take that internal motivation, that sense of self that makes you uniquely you, and go out and transform your future environments into something better. You are the much-needed coffee beans, the overcomers, the impossible conquerors. You are Lobos. You're the class of 2021, and I will hold a special place in my heart for each one of you. I love you, class of 2021. Congratulations. Thank you. At this point, I would like to take a moment and recognize some groups that have accomplished much during their time at Rocky. Our honor stole and cord are given to students that completed their 4 years at Rocky with a 3.75 GPA or higher, with different honor cord being added for those maintaining a 4.0 for their 4 years. Can I have all 173 honor stole and honor cord recipients please stand and be recognized for your commitment to your education? Good. Many of our Lobos are continuing on to college that have earned scholarships. These scholarships for academics, service, athletics, leadership, many different things. Can I have all 138 scholarship winners totaling a Rocky Mountain High School record $17.5 million please stand to be recognized? We have multiple honors societies. Please stand if you're a member of National Technical Honor Society, National Honor Society, National Arts Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Tri-M. Help me recognize these students that have combined their academic excellence with service to their community. The Seal of Biliteracy is an award given to students who have studied and attained proficiency in 2 or more languages by the end of their high school career. Can we have our 47 seniors, the most we've ever had at Rocky Mountain High School, receiving their Seal of Biliteracy, please stand and be recognized. At Rocky, we pride ourselves in being others-focused, stressing the importance of service and the impact it can have on our greater community and the impact it can have on ourselves. 4 years ago, when you walked into our building on day 1 with the link leaders in the gym, I challenged you to show me with a hand all who planned on making a difference during their time at Rocky, either within our walls or out in our community. Even during these challenging times, I saw many of you still commit to impacting our surroundings. Can I please have all of our seniors that felt like they had made a difference during their time at Rocky, please stand and be recognized. That is awesome. We have very talented and compassionate students, but we also have incredibly supportive and passionate staff that have committed themselves every day to make sure our students have the opportunity, every opportunity afforded to them. They too dug down and found resilience they never knew they had to create a positive learning environment for these students this past year. Can I have the staff of Rocky Mountain High School in attendance here today please stand and be recognized? There is one final group I would like to honor. Could I have all of our seniors that are planning on entering the military or heading to a military academy please stand? And can I ask any current or retired military in the audience or up front here to stand as well to be recognized for your service? So please stand. Thank you to all of you for reminding us we are the home of the free because of the brave. Thank you. At this time, it is my privilege to recognize the valedictorian and salutatorians for the class of 2021. The valedictorians and salutatorian are determined by calculating the highest adjusted grade point average earned by our students using additional grade points for college-level courses. As I call your name, please come forward to receive your medal. Our 2021 salutatorian heading to the University of Minnesota to study mathematics in the fall with a GPA of 4.28 is Maxwell Uphoff. Keep going. We're doing all this without a rehearsal, by the way, so we are doing our best. Our 2021 valedictorian, heading to UC Santa Barbara in the fall to study chemical engineering with a GPA of 4.325 is Rowan Steger. There we go. Congrats. Now, would you please help me welcome our student body president, Mackenzie Haase.
Good afternoon, class of 2021, family, friends, staff, and everyone else in attendance who have helped us reach this monumental and special day. Also, a special thank you and hello to all the loved ones who could join us virtually for this graduation. Additionally, I would like to thank Dr. Woodall and Dr. Lambert for making this day happen and understanding the magnitude it has for myself and for my peers. It's hard to believe this is the one and only time during our senior year where we have been able to come together as one. So, as I look out at all of your faces right now, hello, class of 2021. It's so great to see all of our faces together for the very first time this year and be a family. For the past 13 years, we've worked hard for this one and special accomplishment. I recall wearing my graduation cap for my kindergarten graduation, like many of you probably did. We were told from the start, your senior year would be the best year. It would be the best memories of your life. It'll be your favorite year, filled with so many fun times, and a year to reflect on all you have worked so hard for. For some of us, it felt like this year came all too quickly, and some of us, it was way too long. We started this year logging into our classes from the comfort of our bed, wondering if we would ever go back to in-person school. Being the first class to probably have the most pajama spirit days in school history. History. This is a word to describe what we just did. While some have a story, we made history. Over the past 4 years, we've witnessed some of the most profound events in human history. A presidential election with record-breaking voting turnout, the first woman and woman of color to be elected vice president, the 2020 Olympics postponed, ACT and SAT requirements have changed for college admissions, and the first coronavirus pandemic in history. The class of 2021 will undoubtedly go down in history. We all have proven we know the meaning of perseverance. We learned a lot more about technology than we expected, challenging, but in the long run, worth it for our futures. We learned how to self-motivate. We are role models for younger generations in how to react to adversity. And we are true game changers. Like Kobe Bryant once said, everything negative, pressures, challenges, is all an opportunity for us to rise. We learned to rise. We learned how to be difference makers and positive role models. We learned how to cherish every moment and make every moment matter. Despite our challenges, it's amazing what our class has accomplished. Winning the Spirit competition as freshmen, raised over $5,000 this year during Battle of the Bows for charities. We found ways to still collect thousands of canned goods to help feed our community in need. We provided hundreds of families Christmas gifts during the holidays through Adopt a Family. We were the first class to cheer on our classmates through sporting events, concerts, and plays virtually. We were the first class to have cardboard fans in the stands, having the first outdoor prom, and becoming the very first class to have a senior car parade and a senior sunrise. For every one of these events, our class took pride in what we did. We stayed positive, we were kind, we were hopeful, and most importantly, we exemplified the Lobo way. During my freshman year of student council, Mrs. Cox and Mr. Leofow sat down with my class and asked, why do we put on events? Why are we doing this? No teacher had ever asked me this before, so I thought obviously to have fun, but that wasn't the point of their lesson. The why was to put others before yourself. Why do we put on dances? To create a sense of community and unity, to build relationships and create lasting memories. Now, whenever I do something, a question I constantly ask myself, and I challenge to ask yourselves as well, is why? I think if we could all give the classes below us any advice, it would be to remember the why. Why should you smile at somebody in the hallway? Because once you're at home doing classes virtually, you'll wish you had the chance to smile at somebody and make a new friend. Why should you go to a school dance? Because I think every single one of us would agree we'd give anything to go back to a homecoming dance, despite our feet hurting like crazy, and just have that memory again with our classmates. Why attend an assembly? Because screaming at the top of our lungs as we did the roller coaster brought our entire student body together as one. Why make the most of every single day, because you never know when you won't get that moment back. So in the future, make sure to ask yourself the why and how you can impact others. I thank you for allowing me to stand here today and speak on behalf of our class. I didn't take it lightly when asked to give this speech. I know each of us would like to tell our families that we appreciate all the support they have given us and how much we love them. Thank you, teachers and staff, for caring about us and helping us grow for these past 4 years. You've cared about each of us as people and as friends, not just students. It is truly an honor to be your classmate and your friend, and I'm so proud of us. From my bottom of my heart, thank you for the memories, thank you for the life lessons, thank you for helping me grow and for us all to grow. Thank you for accepting each of us as we are, and thank you for making unforgettable memories. We had some amazing memories together. Let's focus on those good times. Rocky helped shape every single one of us, but we all brought a piece of ourselves to Rocky to make it a better place. We are unique, we are creative, talented, caring, and special. As professional soccer player Abby Wambach stated, surrounding you today is your wolf pack. Look around, don't lose each other. So, class of 2021, this is our wolf pack. You have all strived to make Rocky a better place. The best thing about Rocky is our culture, our friendship, and our family. Every single person here wanted to succeed, and that's what makes the class of 2021 so special. We are all going to make incredible differences in the future. So, for one last time, remember to go out there and continue to make every moment matter. I would now like to introduce Your Song, performed by Claudia Betton, Spencer Bowman, and Milan Dotson.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't got much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live.
If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. This gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is our song.
It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind.
I hope you don't mind
that I put down in words
how wonderful life is when you're in the world. Ooh, I sat on the roof and I kicked off the moss. Well, a few of the verses, they've got me quite cross. The sun's been quite kind as I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on.
Please excuse me for getting, but these things I do. See, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. and you can tell everybody this is our song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life when you're in the world.
I hope you don't mind
I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is when you're in the world.
I would now like to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Chris O'Grady.
For the record, superpower, sing like that. I'm taking it. Over X-ray vision, all of them. What's up, everybody? Hi, people up there. I don't know you. My name's Chris. Really nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. I know y'all, but I haven't seen your faces in a long time. So this is lovely. I'm so honored to be here in this moment, in this place, at this time. This is really special. So thank you for asking me. I think you're crazy, but thank you for asking me to be here. Part of me thinks that you just wanted to see Dr. Woodall's face when you told him that you wanted to give me a microphone in front of people, but here I am, and I'm honored. And as I was thinking about what I was doing this day last year, right? Late May last year, I was comparison shopping hazmat suits on Target.com. I was wiping down my boxes of Cheerios with bleach wipes before I brought them into my house to kill off that virus. And I was trying to figure out how I and the Tiger King occupy the same universe. So to be here with you is incredibly special. This moment is majestic. I haven't seen this many people total in a really long time. But I'm also super honored to be here out of the respect I have for my colleagues and the people that I go to do this with every day, especially those for whom today is their graduation ceremony too. The teachers and staff who are going on to the next element of their career after a career and nearly a lifetime of serving this community. And so I'm so honored today to get to speak on our behalf to you on our last day here together. Additionally, I'm a little honored because I'm selfish. It's about me. And I get a chance to say goodbye to you today, which is an extraordinary kindness that you have given to me. Y'all know I kind of like to tell people how I feel. Have a hard time keeping them inside. And it's hard every year to see people leave. We are in a business that we get rid of the best of you every year. And that's really hard. That's really hard for me. And so you may not realize this, and I hope that some of you come back to say hi. But for many of us, this is the last time we get to see each other. Because you go do cool stuff, and we stay here and meet strangers again. So thank you for the opportunity to say goodbye, and for us to tell you how we feel about you and how grateful we are for you. So with your permission, today I'm going to do something a little bit different than a typical graduation speech. If you haven't figured out, I'm not typical. And so I don't have advice for you today. I don't have words of wisdom. I don't have things to tell you. Maybe because I'm not that smart. Y'all have been in my classes now, you know. I'm faking it most of the time. But what I do have to offer you is thanks and my gratitude. And what I have to offer you is a chance to tell you what about you is really special. What about you is wonderful. And as I thought this day, and after this year on my own story, my own privilege, my own experience, And I thought about those of you who have been kind enough to share with me your story and your struggles and your experience. It just felt out of place for me to try to tell you anything. And so this is not a speech. This is a thank you note. It's a benediction on your time together. And it's a love letter, because I love you. Additionally, I wanted to think about you. Not the generic you, but the you. And so I asked the people who know to give me a list of your names. And when I put this together, I sat with a list of your names so I could think about you, so that I could remember us, so I could remember the things and the moments of courage that I have seen from you that are truly special. The things that set you apart, not because you happen to be in this class, but because you are you. So I could sit there and remember, praise, and pray for you as I thought about what makes you awesome. And as I thought about you, I was struck by this idea of inheritance. These things that are passed from generation to generation, what we receive, regardless of our choices, our efforts, our wants, and the things we leave behind, regardless of what somebody else chooses, works for, or wants. And that is why I am beyond grateful for you today, is for your inheritance. You know, days like today, it's really easy to think about the people who aren't here, that we wish were here, to see us on this day as we transition. And as I thought about you, I thought a lot about my grandmother. My grandmother was born into the Depression. She liked to joke that her favorite dessert was pretzels, because that's all you had for dessert in the Depression. She served as a nurse in the Second World War. She raised 6 kids in Louisville, Kentucky, while working as a psychiatric nurse in the ER. But of course, I missed all of that. I'm old, but I'm not that old. What I got was the end of the story. I got the very end. I didn't get those lessons, those memories. I got something else. But if you've had me for Gov class, you know that one of the special things I do have from my grandma is her button and bow knots. These delicious little muffins. I'm not trying to brag. It's just flour, butter, and sugar, but man, I make a mean muffin. And I got that from my grandma. That's what she passed to me from her mom to my dad to me. And while I love those muffins because they taste flippin' delicious, I also love those muffins because they're more than just muffins. Those muffins are Sunday morning brunch at my grandparents' house in Louisville. Those are mornings with my dad on holidays, giggling at each other and licking the sugar off our fingers. Those are my grandma's compassion to me, the way she could see me for what was really going on, even when nobody else could. And those are the things that we hope to pass to you today and through the 4 years that you've been here. The gift that we have had is how eager you have been to receive it. The great gift you have given to me and the ability to pass my grandmother on to you, because there is now a part of my grandma that is not dead, but it's alive in you today. And you have been joyous recipients. You know, a lot of people ask me, Mr. O'Grady, how can you have so much energy? You're at work. Or the more appropriate way of asking it, Mr. O'Grady, what is wrong with you? Typically at 9 a.m. And the real answer is because this is the place I get to go to pour out what I have been given. My cup is overflowing because of what I have received and what I hope to pass on. I'm full. And it's not just my grandma, and it's not just me. It's a lot of people. It's people who aren't related to me, who saw more than just the shaggy-haired loner that listened to punk rock music and wanted to be a professional baseball player way past when the evidence struck to the contrary. Some of those people are in your rows right now, dressed in these cool Harry Potter costumes. Some of them are even your parents. And so when I get to work in the morning, I know that I'm not just stepping on to my classroom, into the hallways. I am stepping on with what I have been given. And every day I get a chance in a tiniest way to pay back the things people have done for me. And why it matters so much, the kindness, the generosity that you have given to receive. You've cared. You've given the gift of wanting to know, of asking questions, of being curious, of caring enough about wanting to make your world a better place that you want to learn from those who came before you. That is a special and unique thing that you have given to us that we want to say thank you for today. And as Max said, you have this year shown an extraordinary ability to have gratitude for even the smallest things about school that most people take for granted. And so thank you for receiving your inheritance and for allowing me not to squander mine. But today is not merely about the people who we wish were here, nor am I grateful for you just that you received. Today is also about the people who are here, who get to see what you've become, who get to know the specialness of this moment for you as you transition from childhood to adulthood. I have another grandmother who I love dearly that is still alive. And this March, after we were all fully vaccinated, we got to go down and celebrate her 92nd birthday together for the first time in more than a year getting to see her. And as I was cleaning up the gigantic mess that my kids made at her house, I hugged her and I thanked her for letting us come see her. And the gift it was to share with her. And she said to me, no, thank you. I'm just so glad I lived this long so that I could see the father that you are and so that I could see my great-grandchildren and I can see the joy on their faces that they're playing, that I could know them. And I know that there are people here today that are glad they are seeing you in this moment, that are so proud of the person that you have become. And they are so glad that they have this opportunity to see who that person is and to be grateful for that. And I know this year is not a normal graduation. This has not been a normal year. And where every year we celebrate the sacrifices that were made for this to happen, this year especially we celebrate something bigger. We celebrate what you have been through and the people that you have been through it with. We celebrate not in spite of our suffering, but because of our suffering. If your year was anything like mine, I bet there were a lot of days that it was hard to have energy. It was hard to be joyful, hard to be full of life. I know it was hard for you to turn your Zoom cameras on. And I bet there were days when you really felt quite sad. And maybe this is just me, but sometimes that sadness was the sadness that you wear on your physical body, where it's really hard to move. You feel so lonely, so alone in your experience that you don't know what to do or where to go or who to call or what to say. Days when you weren't sure how much longer you could hang on. And maybe it's just me, but that's what we're celebrating here today. What we are celebrating is that we know that it's been hard. We know that it might still be hard. And I am so grateful that I got to be in that with you this year, even if it was just through a Zoom. And we celebrate not in spite of hardship, but because of it, to acknowledge what has sucked with the people who were in it with us. We know that this is true for countries as much as it is for individuals, that comfort is the enemy of progress. And so today we celebrate the fact that you have been uncomfortable. Maybe right now in those chairs. I don't know. How are they doing? Not so great, Colin? Got it. But the biggest reason that I am grateful for you is, again, super selfish. Again, it's all about me, sorry. And that's because this is home. Most of y'all know I went to Rocky Mountain High School. And when I think about y'all, I think about the people who will be here. Because I remember my first football game, I sat right there. I was 8 years old. We beat Collins. Go Bows. I remember sitting in my backyard, pretending that I could one day be a Rocky baseball player, swinging a pink wiffle ball bat. I don't know why it was pink, but it was pink. Pink wiffle ball bat in my backyard. I remember going through those halls. I remember the lockers where I was trying to summon the courage to talk to a girl. Wendy Peppercorn of Rocky Mountain High School. I married her. She's right over there. But it was 12 years ago today that I sat where you are sitting. Not physically, but we were at Moby. That I got my diploma. And what is special for me and why I care so deeply about you is that 12 years from today, with a little luck and the help from a lot of people like you, my daughter Nora Grace will sit where you sit to graduate from high school. You see? Yes, you will. Come on. Because she's finishing her graduation from kindergarten this week, which is where you were when I sat here. And so, I care because the things you have created here are the things that my daughter will inherit. And I wanted her to be here today so that she could see you, so that she could see the people who laid the foundation for what she will inherit, so that she can see the people who sacrificed so that her world can be better, so that she can be a part of something bigger than herself, and she can know that it's worth it to leave that for somebody else. And I couldn't be more grateful that she has you to look up for, look up to. Look up for is in a dictionary. And moreover, I think the greatest tears that I have cried when I think about you, and again, I mean you, not the general you, is how proud I am that my kids get to see you, and how much I hope that my daughters and my son grow up to be just like you. And parents, grandparents, younger siblings dragged here against your will, I don't mean to should on you here, but you should also be proud that these are your people, that these are the people we are going to look to have your courage, your discernment, your apathy towards the things that don't matter, like status and adulation and acclaim, and your passion for the things that do. And mostly for your boldness to be unabashedly yourself, especially when that has cost you. And I know that it has cost you. Y'all know I'm a crier by now. I cry all the time. And as a student and teacher of politics, elections always get me a little bit. Always hit a little hard. This year was no different, and it's not because of who wins and who loses, but I get overwhelmed by the majesty of democracy. Getting to see people exercising their civic duty, it's always overwhelming. And this year, as the election night turned into election week, and I was scrolling through tiny counties in Pennsylvania I'd never heard of, it built up. And so on that weird Saturday, when Joe and Kamala took the stage at that weird used car lot in Delaware, I obviously broke down crying. And in particular, as I watched with my two daughters, I thought about what it meant for them to see the first woman elected to a nationwide election in our country's history. Come on. And then I realized my daughter didn't get it. And she said what she usually says to me when I'm crying, which is, "Dad, stop crying. Get yourself together." And she said, "Look, everybody on the TV's happy. Stop crying." And I realized that she had no idea it was weird. And what's cool is she'll never know that that's weird. And that's what's so special about y'all, is that when she gets what you have left for her, she's never going to know that it's weird. She's going to have no idea how special this is. That it's weird that you can pursue what you want without social backlash, without being ostracized. That it's weird that you all go to sporting events to cheer for your friends, not because they're good at sports, but because they're genuinely your friends, and you want them to succeed as a human being. That you run in the direction of what you believe instead of what people give you credit for. That you show up for your friends with disabilities, not because it makes you look good on your Snap story, but because they are really, truly, genuinely your friends. And it's going to be you that changes the way we as a society view disability, not as something negative, but something to be praised and accepted. That you care enough to do something about hate and social inequality. And you care enough to show the ways that it has hurt you and even the ways you have hurt others. That you are not afraid of conversations about race in our country and in our lives because you know it's not somebody else's problem, it's our problem. And that not talking about it doesn't make it disappear. And it's you who know that freedom is never granted by the oppressor, but demanded by the oppressed and their allies. That you would care to run a school event where you're thinking about the people on the outside who never get included, not the people who are already cool. That you would care enough to leverage your popularity, your youthfulness, and your swagger to build up our community, not to build up yourself. That you would do something about the pandemic of sexual violence and abuse so that when my daughter is your age, 1 in 4 is a sad footnote in our history and not a statistic. And that the thing that you miss getting to see the most this year wasn't an assembly or a dance or a football game. It was getting to see the things you gave in Adopt-A-Family. And you might not even know how weird that is. But guys, you're weird. And I'm grateful for it because you have created something beautiful to pass on to my daughter. And I am eternally grateful for that. And so I want to wrap up. You're probably glad about that. In a minute, you're going to leave here. You're going to go somewhere else. I mean, you're probably going to want to grab your diploma first, so hang tight. But you're going to go somewhere else. You're going to be somewhere different than here soon. And it will be different. And for some of you, I know that that is a great comfort. Change is approaching. But it also might feel lonely. And it might be really, really hard. And all you'll have with you is your inheritance, the things that have been passed to you. And if all I can be today is just one voice to remind you that when things are really, really hard and when you feel very, very alone, that you have received much, that you are a great recipient, and probably more importantly, that you have already left something worthy of praise. So when you get there and you are afraid and you feel the temptation to rescind towards apathy or towards bitterness, continue to look for something bigger than yourself. Run boldly in the direction of truth and the difficulty of the challenge that accompanies it. And continue to look for the least of these in the place where you are, to those who need to be included, and go live for them. And remember that you've already done it before. That what you do in a place isn't for you, it's for the person who comes after you, especially if they don't know the cost. Y'all, I'm so incredibly grateful to be here. Thank you. Congratulations. I love you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Grady, Mackenzie, for your words, and Claudia, Spencer, and Mia Lynn for the beautiful song. It gives you a little insight into why we love this place so much. When you see the depth of reflection and joy and humor and talent that our staff and student can put on display. So, okay. Dr. Todd Lambert and the Distinguished Board of Education, I certify that these students have met the requirements for graduation, and it is with great honor and joy that I present to you the class of 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Woodall. You know, I was coming in today after the last graduation and trying to remind myself of why the Rocky graduation is so special and why the atmosphere here is so unique. You know, whether it's the supportive family and friends, you mentioned Adopt-A-Family, the amazing staff that is sitting at the end of these rows, and then Mackenzie summed it up just perfectly when she said it's about culture. Thanks for reminding us of that, Mackenzie. You put it right there in one word. You were spot on. Congratulations. Over these closing weeks of school, whether at this ceremony or at other gatherings, you most likely receive some well-earned praise for getting to the high school finish line under what could arguably be considered the most difficult conditions in a generation. Enjoy those accolades and enjoy those accomplishments. As the father of two recent PSD graduates from Rocky Mountain High School, oh yeah, I was able to get some inside information about the do's and don'ts of a graduation speech in 2021. My daughter Audrey said, keep it quick, don't be too serious, and try to give a little bit of relevant advice for those students for life after high school. They also suggested that I not dwell too long on the conditions we faced in the pandemic. Today is a day to look forward. Today is a day to look ahead. You are here to be honored. You are here to be celebrated by your family and friends in the audience. It's your special day, so let's talk about you. I got to tell you guys, I'm always cautious about giving advice to graduates who don't happen to be my own children. President Harry Truman said he found the best way to give advice to people your age was to ask you what you want to do and then just advise you to do it. Well, since I have no way of knowing what each of you wants to do, I'm just going to have to take my chances with the advice. First, I want you to recognize that life is unpredictable, with unexpected and unforeseen challenges. You'll be forced to make adjustments to the hopes, the dreams and the plans you have in both your head and in your heart. Accept this and continue to plan your next steps. When something changes, adjust. Learn from your experiences. When opportunities present themselves, be bold and grab them with both hands. The point is that you have no way of knowing exactly how things are going to play out. An open mind and the willingness to adjust your sails will put you in the best position for success. Next, find your servant heart. As you get older, you'll begin to measure your life's accomplishments by the impact you have had on others. It'll happen sooner for some of you, but it will happen. Aim to bring out the best in those around you. Find a cause, find a passion, and then carve out the time to serve others. It will be worth the investment both for you and for them. And finally, don't go it alone. Anyone who knows me knows that I believe in the power of we over me, much like the Lobo way. As you mature and take on more responsibilities, the challenges and the problems you face will become real with higher stakes. It's one of the many perks of adulthood. And when I reflect back on what helped get me through the most difficult times I've had, and for those that I know who have faced similar challenges, it's the ability to tap into a support system of friends and family. They are the ones, sometimes the only ones, who will be there when you need advice, tolerance, compassion, and understanding. This means that you have to work at building your personal support system. Return calls, reach out, take the time to be there for those who need you. Those investments will matter when it's time for you to face your life's biggest moments. You'll have many opportunities to make friends and build the types of relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't miss your chance. In closing, remember that the people who are sitting in these stands today love you very much. Just because you're graduating doesn't mean that they're not going to still be a part of your life. And I have to tell you, as a parent who's been there, until you're in their shoes, you won't fully understand the emotions they're feeling today. Be understanding and cut them a little slack over these next few weeks. It's been an honor to watch you grow up over these last 13 years. I'm excited for your bright future, and I'm confident to the contributions, the meaningful contributions that you're going to make to this ever-changing world. Seniors, please stand. Principal Woodall, I am honored to accept the 2021 graduates of Rocky Mountain High School. Board of Education President Fev, as interim superintendent of Poudre School District, I now present to you the Rocky Mountain High School class of 2021.
All right, you're almost there. Thank you, Dr. Lambert. As president of the Poudre School District Board of Education and on behalf of the entire Board of Education, I confer diplomas to you, the graduates of Rocky Mountain High School class of 2021. Congratulations.
Rowan Francis Steger. Maxwell Uphoff. Jackson Paul Sayers. Mackenzie Ann Hazy. Cooper James Axe. Kirsten Kaylee Engelbart. Reese Noel Abbott. Reham Ramadan Abdunabi. Heidi Lee Acott. Io Cater DJ. Adam Cyrus Adel.
Students, you may be seated until it's your row's turn to go. Thank you. Kate Elizabeth Hartman. William Riley Keeler. Natalie Tess McChrystal. Sadie Elizabeth Peterson. Delaney Kate Unter. Yaman Hossam Ahmed. Saqib Al-Islam. Grace Margaret Albert. Braden Nathaniel Aldaco. Braden Michael Aldridge. Connor Christian Alexander.
Taylor Madison Dunn. Joel Thomas Anderson. Clayton Parker Zakovic. Laisha Armendariz Lopez. JC Samantha Ariaza. Diana Elizabeth Atherton. Thane Riker Evans. Sebastian Eno Ayala. Carter Joseph Baca.
Aiden Joseph Badalamenti. Julia Rose Bayetti. Logan Stephen Baker. Dawson Thomas Balmer. Jordan Alexander Barrett. Hunter Joseph Baumgart. Seth William Beals. Ian Michael Biani. J. Leela Beard. Dorian James Beasley. Rachel Elizabeth Beller.
Olivia Marie Bennett. Claudia Francisca Betton. McKeely Rika Biles. Almost. Olivia Irene Black. Sierra Autumn Blakely. Lilith Verdi Blakesley. Christopher Allen Blinkers. Gretchen Riley Bowler. Colin Fisher Bonner. Antoine Alexander Boone Suarez. Anderson Richard Borch.
Taylor Ray Brook. Avery Madison Thomas. Colleen Miller Borch. Emily Victoria Brewster Bowes. Spencer Philip Bowman. Jaylee Marcy Box. Blake Raymond Brady. Sony Broush. Connor Adam Wingert. Alexis Brianne Buchanan. Megan Bethany Buderis.
Brooke Dale Burleson.
Aaron K. Burris. Robert Xavier Burt. Haley Marie Busby. Luis Francisco Caballero. Matthew Thomas Cabrera. Willem Christoph Zabel. Reagan Lee Campbell. Michaela Caitlin Canfield. Lauren Grace Carrier.
Eliana Grace Nickel. Olympia Carrillo Loeda. Victoria Guadalupe Carrillo Loeda. Allison Marie Karsrud. Kellen Douglas Cheney. Sarah Jalal Shatila. Lindsay Allison Shaley. Madison Grace Cheshire. Brianna Reed. Luke Michael Cisla, excuse me. Eugene Michael Cisneros.
Clark. Jaden John Clark. Avalon Takara Corinne Cobb. Caligiano Michael Cobb. Zoe Bella Cole. Arabella Marie Corbett. Galen Demarier Cotton. Delaney Megan Court. Ethan Joseph Cronin. Jacob Donald Cruikshank. Cordell Everett Colhane.
Kaylee Jade Cunning. Trinity Hannah Daly. Saria Maya Durabureth. Zoe Yvonne Davies. Michael Allen Davignon. Christian Allen Davis. Drake Kelly Davis. Nicole Rodriguez Bepina. Emily Nicole Deegan. Samuel Frederick DeHaan. Brandon Drew DeMarzo.
Presley Dawn Denton. Edgar Augusto de Paz. Jasmine Angelica Diaz. Delaney Lindy Diedemann. Alyssa Marie Dilger. Jacob Decker Deering. Kaylani Adele Deering. Mialyn Shea Dotson. Brandon Volker. Matthew David Downing. Benjamin Morris Dubin.
Andres Mao During. Camille Jean Dunn. Jonah Browning Duran. Riley Blue Durant. Logan Michael Edgerly. Jake
Clayton Edwards. Misha Marie Isley. Cameron Jinx Taylor Ellerby. Sophia Marcial Elmore. Ashlyn Kate Evans. Riham Ezraouli.
Quinn Hawkins Fankhauser. Isaac Farum. Colin Andrew Finnerty. Della Lenore Fisher. Madison Bryn Floyd. Satchel Kyrell Carl Clay Foreign. Luke Addison Foster. Brooklyn Marie Francone. Jonathan Frank. Bridger Lynn Fry. Claudia Marie Marilis Funk.
Dominic Gershom Galelli. Carter William Galliard. Matthew David Garbani. Hayla Lynn Garton. Gabriela Maria Gattinella. Julia Claire Giesenhagen. Maria Rosa Gonzalez. Jaden Ayana Graham. Audrey Ray Griffith. Lindsay Elizabeth Grimm. Leah Michelle Gugelman.
Loretta Julia Gutierrez Martinez. Trenton Lee Haley. Helen Antoinette Hansen. Logan William Hardy. Taya Renee Hardy. Kylie Sue Harpman. Caden Avery Harris. Emma Elizabeth Harrison. Masaya Delise Hassan. Nathan Ryan Haynes. Maxwell Scott Hendrickson.
Lucas Edward Hengler. Fabian Hidalgo. Caden Robert Higgins. Mia Hill. Cassidy Jade Hoffman. Katie Suzanne Holbrook. Emily Claire Holcomb. Whitney Lynn Holland. Kylie Grace Holcroft. Chloe Isabel Hollingsworth. Josephina Hollingsworth.
Alexander Thomas Hawley. Taylor Judith Horn. Zoe Ann Hoyland. Rayana Michelle Hughes. Alex Meyer Hundley. Jackson Ford Isaacs. Matthew Philip Jackson. Samuel Xavier Jenkins. Zoe Marie Jenkins. Tyler Edward Jennings. Gabriella Grace Jensen.
Colin Charles Johnson. Evan Lilo Johnson. Jackson Richard Johnson. Caleb Michael Johnson. Landon Gage Johnson. Maya Cynthia Johnson. Liliana Elizabeth Kai Jordan Marweg. Julian Oliver Kahn. Niall Thomas Keynes. Bronwyn Elizabeth Camerzel. Connor Robert Carnes.
Hannah Ann Kaufman. Shannon Elizabeth Keller. Daniel Beauregard Kelly. Savannah Kelly. Cooper Liam Kelly Walsh. Nathaniel Wellesley Kendall. Tanner Scott Ketterson. Sean Philip Kidd. Matthew Stephen Kinnerson. Jared Michael Kinney. Brody Xander Kling.
Jackson Charles Klussman. Declan Alexander Canese. Sean Michael Knight. Savannah Lee Kraus. Leonardo Lorenz Kronkowski. Caleb Elijah Kruger. Avery Benjamin Kruger. Josiah Krupp. Wilder Ross Cruz. Madeline Gail Kusera. Hope Allison Coons.
Kaylin Pottle LaGuardia. Jaden Renee Lassell. Annabelle Lauren Lasher. Anna Carmel LaViolet. Andrew James Lawley. Caden John Lawson. Zaire Armani Ledoux. Michael Art Lee. Saraya Elizabeth Lilly. Charlie Reynolds Linsenmeyer. Cameron Michael Lira.
Isai Ezekiel Loera. Connor Daniel Lofstrom.
Kurt Dylan Loomis. Ethan Ryder Loy. Adrian Angel Lozano. Ryan Alexander Lujan. Taylor Ray Madden. Caden James Madison. Cora Mayer.
Jaden Alexander Mares. Faith Elizabeth Martell. Matthew Michael Martinez. Sophie Elizabeth Martinez. Tobias Ivan Martinez. Sean Thomas Matier. Eamon Ross McAllister. Anya Rose McCarthy. Ewan Henry McCowan. Andrew Cole McCurdy. Catherine Ann McDonald.
William Warner Robinson. Molly Klaus McGonigal. John Robert Shaw. McGraw. Sorry. Kylie Faith Renee McKinnon. Kiera Lillian Medina. Bianca Natalie Mendoza. Randolph Scott Milan. Carson Cole Miller. Jaron Reed Miller. Landon Charles Morris. Reese Michael Morangelo.
George Elkin Nomberg. Zachary Edward Neidhart. Neidhart. Tyler Walker Nelson. Walker Chase Nesbitt. James Martin Wynn. April Joy Ann Nichols. Spencer Bernard Nicholson. Trenton Joseph Nikolai. Macy Evelyn Norby. Logan Desmond Norden. Kelly Ann O'Connor.
Laurel Ray O'Neill. Chloe Frances Sidong Ogle. Emma Pearl Sido Ogle. Logan Gilbert Oak. Ayana Selena Olivas Cardona. Owen Robert Oliver. Penelope Ann Olson. Joshua Cole Olszewski.
Riley Michael Olson. Eric Orozco Samarron. Ian Thomas Osborne.
Lindsay Nicole Osterfeld. Alec Jackson Parrish. Reagan Lois Park. Joseph Robert Pascal. Kyle Thomas Patton. Cameron Quinn Patterson. Colin Andrew Patterson. Tyler Allen Patterson. Isaiah Alexander Perez. Lised Perez Lopez. Peyton Perkins.
Samuel Jacob Peterson. Peyton Ryan Petrelli. Lauren Celeste Phillips. Isabel Ann Pickford. Connor William Pearson. Monica Sophia Panetta Valez. Megan Renee Plagueman. Carlos Cruz Pocup Sanchez. Cara Grace Powers. Micah Kevin Yancey. Aspen Hartley Price.
Hannah Prochaska. Kylie Prochaska. Brooke Isabella Sharon Proetti. Daniel Alexander Proetti. Adeline Marie Pruch. Noah Thomas Neal Quinn. Hudson Paul Radcliffe. Megan Raridan. Ryan Lake Randall. Darius Ashton Stewart Reel. Allie Ray Reynolds.
D'Anthony James Rico. Carmen Renee Rieger. Sabine Lapp Rinker. Haley Elizabeth Roach. Jessica Elizabeth Robinson. Michael Ashlyn Rodenbeck. Isabel Marie Rodriguez. Marina Francesca Robacher. Sydney Robin Romero. Louise Arsini Renico. Jackson Rogue Root.
Aiden Andrew Rosales. Jackson Derek Rowe. Alexis Krishna Roy. Matthew Allen Rosar, Jr. Jager Dane Roselle. Stephanie Grace Ryan. Michael Christopher Sabi. Alex Salas. Abigail Grace Samsel. Chloe Emily Wood. Stephen Paul Sandoval.
Amir Osama Sawala. Noah Kuahara Shackle. Gabrielle Rose Schlepp. Emilio Newman. Lacey Marie Cholabo. Delaney Lou Haynes Shore. Catherine Jane Seelmeyer. Cullen Patrick Salinger. Alexander David Sheeler. Naomi Maria Patricia Shine. Adam David Sigda.
Juno Estelle Johnson. Sydney Elizabeth Seipel. Brianne Sipple. Lino Marcus. Kennedy Paige Scootcon. Elise Marie Smits. Matthew Smith. Meredith Ann Smith-Baker. Linnea Summerstep. Noah Alexander Spagnolo.
Rakasha Lynn Stallman. Zoe Fiona Stearns. Solon Micah Stetter. Logan Richard Stimmel. Joshua Thomas Stolke. Emma Marika Stowe Terpstra. Colton Lagaki Straight. Olivia Lee Stutzman. Jacob Harrison Swan. Leo Curtis Taylor. Nicole Elise Tetro.
Samantha Joan Tatro. Leah Monet Thibodeau. Jaden Morgan Tiemann. Jocelyn Janet Thompson.
Daniel John Thompson. Allison Carey Tidwell. Mia Coeli Tofilo. Sarah Catherine Tucker. Senna Linda Uchtuk. Elizabeth Alexandra Uranowitz.
Soren Nicholas Vandeveer. Angus David Vansel. Joshua Charles Vandermeer. Wow. Mark Anthony Varela Madrigal. Blake Nicholas Vaughn. Estelle Louise Venable. Cassie Nicole Vogel. Skylar Lee Whitman. Eric R. Wagner. Ella Jean Waldron.
John Michael Walgist. Carter Michael Walls. Chloe Michelle Warner. London Weiss Darnay. Mauriceau Weiss Darnay. Lily Woodward. Riley William Whitman. Carla Lopez Chavez.
Malia Janelle Whitaker. Liam Thomas Wilburton. Lindsay Ryan Williams. Megan Ayana Williams. Vladimir Reese Williams. Reagan Francis Willig. Tessa Rose Van Deventer.
Can we have one enormous round of applause for the class of 2021? A lot of effort went into making this day happen. Special thank you to all the district leadership for advocating with the health department over and over to get us here today. Thank you to all the district personnel with this amazing setup and working out in the parking lot and supporting us, and all the Rocky staff and attendants. We could not have done it with all of that help, so thank you so much. Will the class of 2021 and faculty please stand? At this time, it is my honor to introduce the torchbearer for the class of 2021, Mr. Ryan Randall.
I'm truly honored to stand here with all of you today. As our final moments together come to a close, we stand in the presence of all alumni of Rocky Mountain High School. She is our kindly mother, our alma mater, and we, her cherished sons and daughters. This commencement exercise does not mean, as many wrongly think, the breaking of ties and the beginning of life apart. Instead, it marks the initiation into the fellowship of adulthood. As holders of her diploma, we represent to the world the bearers of her message and the promoters of her spirit. Rocky Mountain High School is not the campus. Rocky Mountain High School is not the campus nor its buildings, not the faculty, not the students at any one time. Not one of these or all of these. Rocky consists of all who come into and go forth from her halls, who are touched by her influence and who leave her with hopes and dreams. What this high school proposes to be, what it must always strive to be, is represented by the hood of achievement I wear and the symbolic torch I carry on behalf of all of us. If its imaginary flames burns in us and from us, who can measure our power to illuminate the darkness? We go forth from Rocky Mountain today, but with her torch and her memories, we shall ever be part of her. These cherished memories we have created over the past 4 years in the embracing arms of Rocky Mountain High School and our surrounding community are significant and unique to each and every one of us. This past year has been especially challenging for all of us in various ways. However, our ability to rise to the challenges, adapt to change, and come together as an inclusive, supportive family cannot be denied. I truly believe that today we stand here stronger and better prepared to answer the questions that need to be answered, find the solutions that need to be found, and create the change that is needed in our world today. Here is to what lies ahead and the memories, skills, and knowledge we will take with us from Rocky Mountain High School. I bid you farewell, but only in the sense that I pray you may each farewell. God be with you who remain in her keeping, and go with us as we choose our separate challenges. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, class of 2021, please turn your tassels.